Hey, good afternoon. This is Dennis here at Melloy Chevrolet, and today we're going to talk about the 2022 Chevrolet Suburban. We're going to do a close-up walk around of the vehicle, and we're going to see how it goes. So this will be our first attempt at video walk around live, and so let's see how this goes. I'm, I'm, I, it may work, may be crazy too. So let's take a look at it and see. We're going to take a look. We've got a 2022 Suburban High Country out here with the 6.2 liter V8, but we're going to look at all of that and let's see what it is. Let's see if it's good, if it's bad, if it's ugly. What is it? Let's take a look at it and see. So we are going to see, this is the part that I'm not sure how this is going to work. So let's try it. So we did a little video earlier, so let's take a look at it and see. So there is, hey, look at that, it worked. There is the 2022 Suburban, and we are looking at the interior now. All the dash buttons, got quite a few, and then we are also looking at, there's the back seat. And I was practicing this earlier. I think this will work. Watch. Because I want to go back. Yes, see, we can go back. Man, this is exciting. I'm super excited. All right, so the exterior. Let's start with the exterior. Exterior is good, huh? The redesign a couple years ago of the Suburban looks awesome. And so we are looking at that. And this is the High Country, so you've got the larger chrome wheels. This is in that tricolor white, which is, an awesome color. So we've got that now in the High Country. This one, there it is right there. Got the power running boards. So as soon as you open the door, those running boards deploy. So those are good. The Bose stereo. Oh, I'm digging this. There's all the switches on the passenger, or on the driver's side, on the left side of the steering wheel. And there's a bunch. There's your four-wheel drive controls. There's your trailer controls. You can see it's got the lane assist, the parking warning, got a traction control. You can turn that off. The hill descent. So all of that is right there. It's got your info screens and your setup there. So that's a lot of information right there. The steering wheel is kind of packed with stuff. I mean, you've got your infotainment system controls, you've got your cruise control, all that's on the steering wheel there. In the back seat, of course, this is kind of where the Suburban shines, right? You've got the back seat, and you can see it's got the bench seat in the back, so you can get a lot of people there, and then of course you got your third row too. That's kind of the view from the back seat. So pretty much, standard. And then now with the High Country, you've got the remote rear hatch. So that's the remote control for the rear hatch, which is pretty nice. And then there's where you're shining, right? The third row seat. And then with that third row seat, you've got all that room in the back there. And oh, thank you. No, we're doing a little live stream here about the Suburban. And then we've got so that's here. Let's go back to that. That's cool. So we've got this going on. So there's your controls for that third row, power up, power down, and then right next to it, you'll see it's also got the controls, which I don't show you, but let's say you got something long to go in there and you want that second row to fold down. Well, you've got the release here in the back too. That's pretty cool. So plenty of room. You've got storage here, and I don't know why I lifted it up like this, like I was showing you something special, but look, there's storage underneath that back panel in the back, and of course your automatic doors. So we have got that going on. We are looking at the back seat from the other side. Again, pretty good, pretty good. On the passenger view, so you've got the High Country seats, and so that passenger in the front, very comfortable, and those are heated. Those are heated and ventilated, so it cools you down in the summer, keeps you warm in the winter. Um, Here's the engine. So this is the 6.2 in here. Let's stop it real quick because I wanted to show you all something on the 6.2. Really, it's any of the engines, but on this engine you've got, it's pretty well laid out. I mean, you've got your battery here on the passenger side, you've got your fuse block up there, and then you've got you can see your coolant there in the back, the red coolant here. It's also got your wiper fill right here, right in the bottom right corner. You can see the wiper fluid fill. Um, the oil dipsticks on the other side, over on this side, and but it's pretty well laid out. Not that you'll be under there much because you've got warranty and roadside assistance, but if you do need to check any of that, it's pretty easy to find. And then back on inside, we rolled into the driver's seat, and in the driver's seat, you can see the system display here, pretty standard. Nothing too fancy and crazy, but there's a lot of information on that driver system. And then the infotainment system here in the middle. Here's something that you got to get used to. So there's the video rear view mirror. I don't know what they really call it, but that's what we're calling it right now, is the video mirror here in the back. And you can see our finance manager. There's Derek walking behind the vehicle, and it's a camera that's showing you that on the rearview mirror. So it's good, right? You've got a lot of stuff in the back. Here's where this really shines. You've got a lot of stuff in the back, and maybe all the luggage and the kids and everything's right there, and so you're kind of blocking that back window with the rearview mirror that's a camera. That doesn't get in your way, so you're able to see no matter what's stuffed in the back of your Suburban. But it catches you off a little bit every time I jump in one that's got that. It's like, wait, what is that? But it's pretty cool. All right, we'll keep playing here. So there's that infotainment center on the center of the dash. We had to answer a couple questions. It's very good. But it does have, of course, your audio controls, navigation control. It's got Bluetooth, the Android Auto. And then let's stop it there for a second. I don't know what I think about that. What do y'all think about that? Push button transmission. And now the push button to start, okay, there's some advantages to that. And the push button transmission, a lot of manufacturers are going to it, and for a lot of reasons. One, when you've got that, when you have that gear shifter, let's say in the console in the middle between the two front seats, it takes up room, right? And even on the column, it kind of gets in the way, and so this push button transmission, a lot of cars are going to that. And I don't know, maybe I'm just old school, but it takes a minute to get used to. But when you do, it's okay. It's not a bad thing. But here's kind of below that center stack, all your controls, and then right below that, here's one of the reasons that a lot of manufacturers have said, oh, this is why we're using that push button to save space, like in the console, because everybody wants, USB ports, charging ports, outlets, all of that. And so here you've got your wireless charging, so you just lay your phone right down there in the middle, and there's your wireless charging right there. So that's one of the things that transmission being push button leaves you room to do, to put stuff like that in there. And cup holders ain't going anywhere, so you got to have cup holders. So all of that's there. But it does have a couple of cool features. The camera, the 360 camera. I'll show you the cameras here that it's got. So there's the 360 camera view. We've also got the rear view camera right there. It's got a backup kind of guide camera. Showing you your side views. So if you're hooking up a trailer, there's your trailer hitch view, which allows you to back up to that hitch, see exactly where you're going. So that's the camera system on the Suburban, which is a bad boy. Pretty nice. So that's the infotainment system in the middle. And then, of course, with the high country on this model, you've got the full roof. There it goes, so it's sliding back. You can see that full glass roof all the way back to the second seat. And it's got the sunshade there that you can do. What's nice about this is a lot of those full roof glass tops, you can't you can't open. It's a sunroof that you can't open. But here, this whole front section, you can open it. It slides out. You can see the sky. So that's going on there. And then I slide that. Then we'll slide that sunshade back up. Here in New Mexico, a lot of times the sun is way too hot to have that thing open all the time, so the sunshade's a nice thing to have. So far we're looking at this, I mean, a lot of the pretty standard stuff, right? So when we're looking at the Suburban, as compared to some other things, is it good, is it bad? So far, even in the high country, a lot of the things that we see, you see the rear view vision camera again. And then, for some reason, here's another shot of us trying to put the seats up. Oh, that's because I didn't know how to do it. I kept pushing up to go down. So we've kind of got that going on throughout. So that's kind of the whole view of this thing, man. I mean, there's the whole section. The high country with the high country leather seats, power rear seats, the Bose stereo. I mean, it's when you look at this thing from the outside, though, I think that's where this really shines. I mean, when you compare this to what's out there, right? So we're talking about, is this thing good? Is it bad? What is it? So when you look at this, I mean, I think one of the things that you have to look at is what you're comparing it to. And the Suburban's kind of the granddaddy of them all, right? I mean, it's got some history, and with the redesign, with the way the body style looks, the front grille that it's got, especially in the high country version, this thing's it's really, really nice. When you look at some of the competitors that are out there, you know, uh, and some of them come and go. The Expedition here, there, um, in the Ford side. One of the things that came out specifically to compete with this was the Grand Wagoneer. So with that Grand Wagoneer, it's got some really nice features too. But as you look at like the continued value of the vehicle, kind of when you kind of are looking at when you're looking at what's important, right? You got to have the size, you got to have the space. I mean, especially with if you're doing a little towing, the Suburban's a great choice, and it's kind of because it's been a proven platform. It's kind of the granddaddy. I mean, it's the one that people look to and say, oh, okay, yeah, I need a vehicle like this. The Suburban's kind of what they look at. So when you look at, is this good? Is this bad? There's a lot of things that you got to look at. But given the alternatives for a third row seat plus the storage behind that third row seat, if this is a vehicle that you need a lot of room, this is your choice. I mean, it really is a great vehicle. It's a great choice. So is it good? Is it bad? I mean, there's a couple of things that could be improved. I mean, one of the things like in the Wagoneer, the Grand Wagoneer, on that passenger front side, they've got a media display there in the dash, which is a pretty cool feature. Chevrolet, I think's working on that. I think that's an iteration that's probably coming, but that's something that could improve. The interior. I hear some comments that the interior on the Suburban's a little bit dated. I mean, the way the steering wheel, the whole driver cockpit is built, maybe a little bit outdated, but they've updated it, and it does have some great features. The infotainment system in the middle. I mean, there are some competitors, Grand Wagoneer and others, that may have some larger screens or try to do more with that. But one of the things that Chevy's done is to try and keep those mechanical controls, right? Not going into the system, not going into that video control system. So you want to change the air conditioner fan speed. There's still a knob for that. It's not just push the screen and push the buttons on the screen. And a lot of people really want that. Oh, what if the screen goes out? I can't change that or that. So even though it may look, to some people a little bit outdated, there's still some functionality there that they've kept. So, you know, here at Melloy and Los Lunas, we have got Ford, Chevrolet, Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, Ram, and so we get to compare all these vehicles. And so sitting side by side, yeah, Grand Wagoneer is a great choice. The Expedition, was nice, but when you're looking for this kind of vehicle, I think the Suburban's a really good choice. So I'm going to vote it good. So that was our first attempt at doing this. We've kind of walked around and looked at all the features. That Suburban is available right outside. If you want to come pick it up, come on. But this is Dennis here at Melloy Chevrolet saying, what do I think? Yeah, I think given everything, 22 Suburban, good. Real good. This is Dennis at Melloy Chevrolet in Los Lunas saying, see you soon.